National Council of Jewish Women Greater Dallas Section. Food+Fit equal fun. Catch a rainbow on your plate to help you get all the nutrients your body needs.
Hello, I'm Ellen, and I'm a volunteer with the Food+Fit equals fun program of the Dallas section of the National Council of Jewish Women. Today, our lesson is called Catch a Rainbow on Your Plate. And we're going to be learning about why it's so important to fill our plates with foods of many colors every day. So here, if we look at this chart, we can see that we have different colors on the plate, and those colors each represent a different type of food. There are 5 major types of food that we need to include in our diets on a daily basis. Vegetables in green, fruits are represented by red, protein in the blue, grains in the yellow, and then the light blue over here is the 5th type, which is dairy, a subset of protein. So as you can see, vegetables and fruits should be taking up approximately half of our plates at most of our meals, primarily vegetables. And then grains should be taking up another quarter of our plates, and healthy proteins another quarter of our plates. It's essential that we get a variety of foods, that we get all of these different types of foods in our meals and our snacks every day. Why? Because they contain nutrients that our bodies require to function, and we can't store, our bodies can't store many of those nutrients. So we really require them from our foods on a daily basis. So we're going to be going over ways to pick healthy choices within each of these food groups.
Vegetables.
So we're starting with the category of vegetables, which you can see takes up the largest section on our plate. It's green, and the reason why it's so important to take up all that space on our plate is that vegetables are packed with powerful nutrients and fiber that our bodies require to be healthy. And with vegetables and fruits, their nutrients are called phytonutrients, plant nutrients, and the colors of the vegetables and fruit show which nutrients they contain. So we can group our vegetables into 5 different categories, and let's just talk about each one quickly. There are the dark green vegetables, which include the dark lettuces, the dark green leafy lettuces, which are very healthy. We're talking about kale, we're talking about collard greens, broccoli, Swiss chard, and all of the baby lettuces that are so healthy. They're actually called superfoods, many of these, because they're so good for you. There's a group of red and orange vegetables, and those examples are, as you can tell by the color, orange colored, carrots, sweet potato, the different major squashes, red and orange peppers. And then we have another category called the starchy vegetables, which are basically the white potatoes, corn, green peas. Those are full of fiber and other vitamins we need. And then the legumes, or beans and peas section, include things like lentils, all the different kinds of beans, split peas as well. Finally, we have something called the other, which is the catch-all section, and that includes green beans, onions, garlic, zucchini, cauliflower, eggplant, just a whole variety of other vegetables. And they each contain different very important nutrients as well. So, important things to know about vegetables. Fresh or frozen veggies are more healthy, more nutritious than canned. We suggest that you buy your vegetables fresh when they're in season for the best prices and the most nutrition. You can buy, you can serve a variety of vegetables at each meal for lunch and dinner, and also for snacks. we suggest that you keep your vegetables, several of them, cut up in the refrigerator, ready to serve at any time as a healthy snack. Things like carrots, celery, sugar snap peas, cherry tomatoes are great as snacks or with a healthy dip, and then finally, we suggest you mix vegetables like shredded carrots and zucchini into other foods that you're cooking. Things like burgers, meatloaf, casseroles, breads and muffins. Makes them healthier, higher fiber, and gives them better taste and texture.
Fruits.
Okay, now we're going to be talking about fruits, the red area of the circle, which is the smallest area as you can see, but still a very important type of food to include every day. As with vegetables, the colors of the fruits indicate which various nutrients they contain, and you want to have a variety every day of fruits to get all of their nutrients. So here are some examples of some fruits that you can include. Berries are extremely nutritious. Their colors, again, indicate that they are filled with some of the most important nutrients we can get. They're called superfoods, very healthy foods. Here's some raspberries, blueberries, strawberries. We also have bananas, oranges, lemons, apples, pears, kiwi fruit, just as an example. And then you can certainly buy your fruit either fresh, frozen, or canned, in some cases even dried. If you choose canned, we recommend that you buy fruit in its own juice, not in syrup, so that we keep the sugar down. If you buy things like applesauce, which are another great way of getting fruit, choose it with no sugar added, and add fruit to a variety of other dishes that you're making. If you're having cereal, add fruit at breakfast, fresh fruit at breakfast to cereal. Berries are great for that. If you're making yogurt, whether it's for breakfast or snack or lunch, add fresh fruit to that. And if you're making dinner, main dish or side dish, be sure to add fruit to those as well. Look for opportunities to do that. And just some examples would be chicken with apricots, ham and pineapple, whether by itself or on pizza, and adding fruit to rice or quinoa or other grains is always a great way to get them as well.
Protein.
Okay, now we're going to go over proteins, the blue section of our plate. Proteins give us the basic building blocks that we need to build and repair our bones, muscles, skin, organs, and really the rest of our bodies. Meats, poultry, seafood, beans, seeds, and nuts are all good sources of protein, and I have some of them displayed here. We need to have protein at every meal. We suggest that you choose a plant-based protein for at least one meal a day, and that would be beans, seeds, or nuts in place of meat or animal-based protein, because they're low in fat, the plant-based proteins, high in fiber, and packed with many healthy nutrients. Nuts and quinoa are great sources of protein to have at breakfast, and beans or lentils are excellent for lunch or dinner. Whenever you're making an animal-based protein, you want to cut off any fat you see before cooking, and also get rid of any fat that appears after it's cooked. Often the fat layer rises to the top of the pan juices after you take it out of the oven and it starts to cool, and it becomes very easy to remove when it solidifies. For ground meats, you want to choose meats that are labeled 90% lean or greater. Very important, again, to keep the fat level down in our animal foods.
Dairy.
So now we're going to go over dairy foods, which are a subset of proteins. Dairy foods are indicated here in the light blue section, and they include eggs, milk, cheeses, and yogurt. They're not only a good source of protein, but they're a very important source of calcium, which we need to build strong bones and teeth. Dairy foods can be high in fat, however, so it's important to choose low-fat or no-fat versions of cheeses and milk and yogurt whenever possible. If regular cow's milk upsets your stomach, try lactose-free milk, goat milk, or almond milk, and there are cheeses and yogurt made from those. Yogurt, which is a form of fermented milk, is a highly nutritious food to have for breakfast, lunch, or snack. It's great with any type of fruit or nuts mixed in, and it's also great as a smoothie mixed with fruit, including frozen fruit, which you could just throw in a mixer at any time, and that makes a great breakfast or snack. Check the nutrition facts label to again make sure that you are choosing dairy that is low in sugar and low in fat. And add your own fruit to yogurt as much as possible to make it tasty.
Grains.
So now we're going to talk about grains, the yellow section, which also should make up another quarter of our plate. Grains help give us the fuel that we need for our body's energy every day. Things like breads, pasta, rice, cereal, crackers, and chips are all made from grains. It's important to choose whole grains whenever you can. For example, whole wheat instead of regular wheat, brown or wild rice instead of white rice are much healthier. The nutrition facts label will tell you whether it's whole grain or not, and it'll also tell you how much fiber is in the grain that you're choosing. And we want you to get at least 2 grams of fiber per serving for each of your grains, and more than that is better. We suggest that you look for pasta like spaghetti, noodles, or macaroni, as well as breads that are made with whole grain flour, and substitute whole grain flour for regular flour, whole wheat flour, for example, in any recipe to boost the nutrition level, and it will still taste good. If eating wheat causes an upset stomach or a foggy feeling, eliminate those and choose gluten-free grains instead. Those are rice, oats, corn, and almond flour. And there are all kinds of things made from those. And if you're choosing snacks, again, choose whole grain versions like Triscuits. Here's a type of a snack that's made from almond flour. Another good snack is popcorn.
Oil.
Now we'll talk about oils. This light yellow section tells us a little bit about oils. It's okay to use a small amount of healthy oils every day in our cooking and our eating. And some examples of that are olive oil, avocado oil, grapeseed oil, and canola oil. They're all made from plants, and so they have some of the plant nutrients in them. And again, in small amounts, they add to the nutrition that we get every day. We also can have a small amount, maybe 2 tablespoons of butter a day, no more, because butter can be very high in animal fat. What we want to stay completely away from are types of oils like lard or solid shortenings like Crisco, or any foods that contain hydrogenated oils. So those would be listed on the nutrition facts label. Stay with the healthy oils and a small amount of butter, and you will have made healthy choices.
Beverages.
Finally, we're going to talk about beverages. Beverages are not listed on this chart, but they are a very important part of what we need to include with our meals and between our meals every day. At least 4 to 6 glasses of liquids a day is what our body needs. Water is by far the healthiest choice, and water can come in different forms, like sparkling water, Things like Propel that have electrolytes but no calories, seltzer water. Those can all be very good ways of getting your hydration. For pregnant mothers and children, low-fat milk is an important type of liquid to include. We want to avoid all drinks that are sweetened with sugar, corn syrup, or artificial sweeteners, or at least keep them very low in sugar. And that's all going to be shown on the nutrition facts label. Fruit juice can be high in sugar. The fruit is really a much better source of the juice than eating it in a ready-made form. So another way of getting a little fruit juice as well as your water is to just take a couple of ounces of a fruit juice, like orange juice or grape juice or whatever, just a couple of small ounces, and then fill the rest of the glass with regular water, sparkling water, seltzer water, and you will have a delicious and thirst-quenching drink, low in sugar. So now you have learned something about the major food groups and how to use them to make healthy meals and snacks. Stay tuned for more details on all of this in future lessons of Food+Fit equals fun.
Here is a graphic reminder to help you eat a rainbow. Thank you for joining us today. Find out more about Food+Fit equal fun in the Facebook group NCJW Dallas FFF or at www.ncjwdallas.org. Lesson materials are available in English and Spanish.